When you borrow money, have you ever wondered from whom you're borrowing the money? Well, the question I'm asking is, do you understand from whom you're borrowing the money? Don't tell me it is State Bank of India or HDFC Bank or HDFC Limited. That is something which you obviously know. And so first question is, from whom are you borrowing? And second, why are they giving you? And against what are they giving you? Right? These are three questions which many people do not know. You are largely borrowing from yourself, right? You're borrowing from your future self. Your future earnings is what is going to repay. So you're borrowing from yourself. You're not borrowing from State Bank or American Express or Barclays or Stancy or ICICI, HDFC, Kotak, whatever you want to say. There are so many names as far as lending is concerned. You're not borrowing from them. You're borrowing from your own future self. The rate is determined by the market and by your own credit rating, and that credit rating is another great game played by the banking community on you. It is not meant to make it easy for you to borrow. It is to make it easy for them to sell something to you. About that we will talk separately. Then the question is, why are they giving and what loan are they giving? Are they giving you a home loan, car loan or anything? No, they are not giving you anything like that. They are giving you a Form 16 loan. Form 16 loan means they are giving you because you have a employer who pays you a salary and who gives you a TDS certificate called Form 16, which shows how much you are earning and how much tax has been deducted. They are projecting your income based on that Form 16, and they're saying, okay, this is a guy, decent guy or a decent girl, and she's got good potential to earn more money, and therefore out of that earning, out of her future earning, she will repay the money. That is all. So it is out of your money that they're paying the future money that you are going to get. And it is a Form 16 loan, whatever you call it. Try buying a house worth 5 crores with 4 crores of your own money. You heard it right. 5 crore house, 4 crores of your own money, and wanting a 1 crore loan at the age of 59. They will not give it to you because they have no clue how you will repay. Even if you show very high potential dividend income, etc., they will not give you the loan. But try buying a 3 crore house with 30 lakhs of your own money. They'll happily give you 2.7 crores if your salary is something like 30 lakhs. 10 times your annual income is something which they are comfortable giving, right? Like they give insurance, they are happy to give a very high number provided they are convinced that you have no other loan. You have a wife who is earning and her income also has been considered. When everything is considered, they are happy to give you a very high loan because they know that you will repay. So this is a Form 16 loan, not a loan against your asset, because the value of the asset doesn't matter. The ability to repay is more important, which makes sense from a business point of view. Now, should you borrow at all? Well, we should be able to discuss this in this way, that suppose you want to buy some asset, would be anything, right? From a laptop to a car to a house. If it's a laptop, you'll say, oh, it's only 30,000 rupees, I'll pay out of my pocket. If it's 20 lakhs for a car, you'll say, well, I think I'm more efficient in the capital market, so let me put 5 lakhs of my own and borrow 15 lakhs. And if it's a house worth a couple of crores, then you will say, okay, I'll make only 30 lakhs of down payment and 1.7 crores I will borrow. So depending on what stage of your life you are, how much money you have, how efficiently you think you are working in the market. Very many people have an illusion that they're very good market timers and they're getting very good returns simply because they've not taken an Excel sheet and calculated what returns they've got. But so therefore they think, oh, let me go and borrow. And there are others who just think, I need this, so I will buy it. They will not take the second way of saying, okay, I want this car, it costs 20 lakhs, I am capable of saving 50,000 per month, so let me save it over 1.5 years. I would have put together about 10 lakhs, then I will have to borrow less. There are people who will say, no, I have a good Form 16, so let me just go and take a loan. So they would just go take a loan and buy the car, immaterial of whether they need the car, whether they need such a big car, whether they need an expensive car, because they don't like to wait. They just go and buy, and they may regret after a month saying, oh, it's too big, it's guzzling too much of petrol, I did not want a petrol car, I could have bought a cheaper model, right? Any of those things. But the banks exist for such people who will not wait. They will go and buy immediately when there is a need. There is a card, there is a Form 16, they will go, they will borrow, and they will use it. Great, works very well for banks. But understand that in case you borrow today from your future self, obviously in your future you will have less, right? Because you have enjoyed this. Then when you replace the car, again you're borrowing from your future, again you borrow. So you keep on borrowing from your from the future, or say you buy 5-6 cars in your lifetime. Every time you're buying with your future income, and when you borrow 100 rupees, you end up repaying say 150 rupees or 175 rupees. In case of a house, if you borrow 100 rupees, you're repaying 200 rupees, right? So if you're not very efficiently using your money, and you're not very efficient with the capital allocation that you do in your assets, and you have a lot of money lying in banks and insurance policies like endowment policies which are giving you pathetic return, then this combination of borrowing heavily and investing in very inefficient assets like endowment plans and bank fixed deposits and paying tax on that will ensure that you will never be able to retire, or you will find retirement very expensive, and therefore it's not a very sensible idea to try doing all this on your own. If you do not understand numbers, sit down with somebody, understand what is to be done, and then do it. I do not know whether there are any advisors available who on the borrowing side as to where to borrow, how to borrow, how much to repay. So I really don't know whether such people are available. If such people are available, go and consult them. Don't over borrow. Don't be over enthusiastic about borrowing. The banks are happy to lend to you if you have a decent Form 16. They just don't care a damn about you. They will not give you advice as to why are you doing this. Obviously it's not their job. Their job is to give you the loan. They make money on the transaction, so they will do that. Find out. I've done one post saying 3, 20, 30, 40 rule for buying a house. That rule can be used for buying a car also. That is, your borrowings totally, all your borrowings put together should not exceed 3 times your total income. You should take a 20-year loan. Your EMI should not exceed more than 30% of your take-home pay, and 40% is the minimum down payment you should make to buy a house. So use similar rules, tweak a little before you borrow. And it's always a good idea to say, oh, I need this car costing 20 lakhs. Can I wait for 1 year and then decide? So for that 1 year, save very, very aggressively, or invest you can't really invest for a 1 year period. So save very aggressively. Suppose a car EMI was to come to 1,10,000, then try investing 1,20,000 per month. So over a 12-month period, you put together 12 lakhs plus some other money you have. So maybe you have 15 lakhs and you have to borrow only 5. Check this out, see whether you've got that capability. If you're borrowing without even checking whether you have that capability, someday you will be overstretched, you would have overborrowed, you would struggle to make the EMI, and all these rates could get much higher and usurious by the time you're repaying, right? Right now the interest rates look very benign. It could go up if Fed increases the rate or RBI increases the rate, or enough money is not available, interest rates will go up, and then that will hurt. So be careful about what you're doing, and while borrowing, understand why you're borrowing, understand you're borrowing from yourself, understand it's a Form 16 loan, borrow the minimum, try saving and investing using your own money as much as possible. Sometimes you can't, sometimes to buy a house you may be forced to borrow, but sometimes you can. So go towards the capability of saying, Here's, I needed a laptop, I didn't borrow. For a car, I will not borrow. Maybe for a house, I will borrow. So you have moved from not borrowing for a laptop to not borrowing for a car, and borrowing maybe only 30% for buying a house. That's a fantastic progress. Earlier, you would have borrowed 90% for your house. Now you have come down to 40% or 30% for your house. That's a fantastic change. I'm not saying you will go to saying, I have enough money to buy a house. You may not, but you can do this. Learn as you go. Make sure, understand that if you borrow now at a younger age, you will have less in the older age. That's it. Thank you.